All right, all right, all right. What's up, people? Man, I see my people. Ginger, Ginger, what's up, baby? How you doing? I appreciate you sliding up in here, man. Definitely appreciate it. You know, it's always love. But man, I apologize to the people, man. I said 10:45, but I had some stuff I had to take care of real quick with the, the household family thing. So, I had to get that in order. But man, I hope we get a nice amount of, some heads up in here today, because I think this one of them topics I've been wanting to like dig into. Cause grown man P, what it do, bro? Man, what's up? What's up? I appreciate it, man. So man, I was doing a little talking with a couple of cats, you know what I mean? Everybody be talking about what's going on in the streets right now. And I'm my take on this is, I don't know if y'all remember with the No Child Left Behind in the schools. It started, I believe it's 8th grade and under. You know, what's up, everybody? Man, everybody tap in, man. I appreciate it. But the No Child Left Behind, that's when no matter what, every kid goes through the 8th grade, graduate. You know what I mean? And that was, I guess that was their way of not having the older kids still up in there with them young cats. Because I remember my middle school days, it was a cat in there at 17. You know, just shared this joint. Appreciate it, bro. Man, Post Kebab, appreciate you being here, man. But let me jump on this. I ain't trying to ignore nobody, but I'm trying to get this kind of serious with me. But the No Child Left Behind, and then when they took the parents being able to discipline their kids, I think it's a direct effect of that while we dealing with this stuff that we dealing with today. Because all of that started like right around my high school years. You know what I mean? So it's like that generation behind me, these day kids right here, that's, you understand, that's tapped in right about now. Oh man, you in Chicago too, man. Man, that's the crib, man. I'm Southside, man. I was born and raised on 35th and State, bro. But I did my teenage years out in Harvey, man. So man, hometown guy, man. I appreciate it, man. So I'm gonna start up with the No Child Left Behind. Now I feel as though that was a direct disaster put in the community, because it's like you gotta think, man. When you for me myself, 8th grade, man, you want to graduate. You want to walk across that stage. You know what I mean? That's your first big event, for real, for real. And we had up in Chicago, we had the dinner dances. You know what I mean? So at the dinner dance right before the graduation, you know what I mean? It's like that's when you get you try your hand and try to take the tightest chick in the school out. You know what I mean? And it's like you earned that. You know what I mean? If you really graduate, you earned that. You know what I mean? So that was a big thing looking forward to for me anyway, you know? And it's like, man, and then so anybody passes, that is like, come on, now that's terrible in itself, because once you get to high school, the teachers in high school don't pay no mind to you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna give you that lock in right there. You know what I mean? So I think that was a big cause of it. And then they started not letting the parents discipline the kids. And let me make this clear: whipping a child and beating a child is two different things. You understand? So I'm opposed, totally against beating on a kid. Totally against it. Totally against it. But I'm for, you can spank a child, but you do that shit early enough where you implement certain things into your kid, and that goes into their teenage years. That goes up into the preteens. That goes, you know what I mean? You gotta have a line. It's a line that they don't cross. But the problem is, parents became their kids' friend instead of, you understand what I'm saying? You got to have a line that you don't cross. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think both of those was a direct effect of why we dealing with some of the stuff we dealing with now. So you did the No Child Left Behind. So you'd have pushed the generation of people through, straight up out of middle school, straight into high school. High school ain't, the ropes is off. You on your own. So you know what I mean? You on your own. And once you hit high school, and if that shit ain't clicking, you bouncing. I'm a prime example of it. It wasn't clicking. I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know about how it was out here on the East Coast, but in Chicago, we had truant officers. A truant officer was like, you know what I mean? When you're ditching school, not going to school and stuff like that, They come find you. They come track you down all in the neighborhood. I had this one guy, Mr. Williams, man, and I wish I could find this guy now to tell him thank you. No matter where I went, bro, man, this man would find me and take my ass to school. He would make me go to school. Well, I mean, seriously, make me go. I mean, he would catch me, and we had little hiding spots behind the railroad tracks. And this man in a suit jacket, button up, in some slippery herbs, and this nigga behind the woods coming through cutways to come find me. You know what I'm saying? So man, that's when still in the community, everybody cared about these kids. You couldn't just be hanging in the community and not in school. Somebody go, man, they got to figure out where the fuck you supposed to be. It ain't like that no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ignoring the comments, man, but I'm just trying to go in on this, you know? So it's like, man, I think that's a direct effect of it, because once you push them kids to high school, man, high school is different. It's different, and it's so bigger. And the structure there is, you got to structure this shit yourself. You got to figure out how you gonna do these things up in these classes. So the average hood project child that's going through some shit, who already was clothes, shoes, and shit wasn't tight, they up out of that. On top of you to push them up out of middle school and grammar school, but they really don't know nothing. Because I know a couple cats personally that's a couple years younger than me and barely can read The Cat in the Hat. It's that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all a coalition together. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I ain't saying it's fact or anything, but it's just my opinion. And then when you can't discipline your child. How would a child know they can sit? If your mother or father tell a kid something, and the kid can turn around and look at you and say, "You can't touch me. I'll call the police on you," and they mean it. You understand what I'm saying? And they mean it. That shit changed the whole dynamics of households. You know what I mean? It really did. It changed dynamics of households, you know, and it's like all of that ties into what we're dealing with right now, because you took away kids having to really use their brain cells and get an education, because you just pushing them on through. Once you get a certain age, they want your ass up out of here no matter what. Slap you with a diploma and you don't know nothing. And in the process of that, you ain't got to bring. My mom used to have us, man, better beat them street lights in here. That's how my mom carried it, because she ain't play no games. But then you put that you can't touch a kid. Do you understand how many kids just hung out all time of nights, and come up in there, mama screaming and yelling, but you can't even put your foot down for real. It was a generation of that. And now they had kids, and that's what's the fuck's out here now. It's a cycle of this. You know what I'm saying? We got to really look. Everybody be talking about how terrible the kids is in Chicago, New York, all these drill artists and shit. But you got to look at the cause and the effect of why a lot of this shit is like it is now. You understand? It's like, man, it's a bigger picture to it. Excuse me. And my thing, when it came to the discipline, I understand why they went into the don't beat the kids. Because, man, I've seen kids in Chicago in the projects who was getting the shit beat out of them. I don't know how they did it. I've seen parents that used extension cords, whipping their kids' ass, sending them to school with belts. And you understand what I'm saying? So that should be shut the fuck down. Excuse my language. But also, you still gotta be able to reel your child in without, you understand what I'm saying? Without, man, you having to worry about looking over your shoulder and taking your ass to jail. You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's a lot of that stuff, man. So it's a lot to what's going on right now in my eyes, man. And I see it, and I ain't scared to talk about it. You know what I mean? The truth is the truth. You know, so, and I'm like, man, I've seen parents. You got to think about the project. I'm taking the projects from my perspective of the projects I grew up in. It was a lot of single mothers with more than two, 3 to 4 or higher kids dealing with it by themselves. You know what I mean? Because they already had set the standard of can't no man come up in this joint. You know what I mean? And back then they used to come through and open your drawers, open your closet, make sure ain't no man clothes and all that in there. So they'd kick the fathers out already. You know what I'm saying? So now you got these mothers that's sitting here going in with these babies, you get public assistance and some food stamps. That shit ain't nothing. You know what I mean? You barely can survive with one child on what they're giving you for four. So then the dynamics of the drugs that came through them projects prevalent. You understand, man? When that crack hit, with all this shit going, man, it's a whole dynamics of why these kids is like they is now. You know what I mean? But everybody afraid to talk about it. You know, if you're gonna try to solve what's really going on, you need to really start admitting to what the hell got us here. But and don't get me wrong, even going through that type of situation, once you get to a certain age and everything, once you start growing as a person, you're supposed to hold yourself accountable. And even if you wasn't, you're supposed to shake certain shit off and check yourself. So don't get it. I'm not saying everything is somebody else's fault, the system. No, because you're supposed to gather yourself as you go anyway. So you know what I mean? You have to self-check yourself. And a lot of people, if you don't know, you probably can't do it. And a lot of people ain't been around somebody that'll show them how to check themselves and do it where they're understanding and respected. You know, so man, it's a lot to it, man. And it's like I take it serious because I'm a direct child that came from that. You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I'm a survivor. I'm one of the dudes that they looked at to not even make it. You understand what I mean? To not make it. I been went back home so many times, like go to my old middle school, see my old teachers, and they be in amazement to see me. And I've had them tell me, damn, not other adults, we'd have thought you'd been dead or locked up. What? How the fuck is that your perception of fucking me? You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, but that's real. And I'm like, man, I ain't never been no penitentiary dude. I've been a hood nigga my whole life, but I ain't never been no penitentiary dude. So you got me all the way twisted, but that was the expectations of most of us according to the households we come from. You know what I'm saying? Man, some was already gone before they even got started, man. And I've seen so many and I still know them till this day. You know, so it's like, man, we got to start really taking accountability and force these so-called people in charge of this, that's in charge, that we allow them to be in our community, from the congressmen, the senators, all the way down to the trash. But we got to start holding people accountable and talk about what really got us to where we at today, and stop being so quick to, if they don't agree, you can agree to disagree. You don't have to spaz the fuck out all the time and then nothing gets done. Man, we don't go to none of them community meetings. We don't go to them PTA meetings. You know what I mean? You don't even see them. They don't even send slips or nothing like that home with the kids no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the community just threw their hands up where they don't even, it's like the kids out here on their fucking own. You know, so we got to, it's a lot to this. And I take it real serious because I holler at these shorties out here, man. And, you know, I ain't scared to roll up on the majority of them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, you know how to play. It's dangerous out here. But at the same time, I'm a realist, man. I ain't scared to talk and speak up and tell a motherfucker how I feel and get some advice. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, man, I wish. Well, I actually had one guy, Quinn Troy Harrell, and this man, I thank him. You know what I mean? Every time I go home and when I do see him, I thank this man. He was an old wrestling coach at Cooper Park, out on 150 of Cooper Street, out in Harvey, Illinois. This man would snatch up so many of us, 10, 15, 20 of us, and have us stand at his crib. He would take us fishing. He would take us camping. You know what I mean? Show us how to pop tents and put tents, start fires. And we gonna live off the land, teaching us how to fish. You little niggas don't catch no fish, y'all ain't gonna eat tonight. He'd have fed us, but he was putting some up in us to get some inspiration to do something. You know what I mean? And it was like, man, I was pretty much I was running the streets early. But this man, he snatched me up because I was a hella athlete for one. You know what I mean? And for two, he, without me ever even saying it, without me ever admitting it, without me even, you know what I mean, acting like something was wrong, he knew, and he cuffed me to keep me about it. You know what I mean? He cuffed me, and he cuffed me with all of the rest of these kids to keep me somewhere where I wasn't just straggling out there in the streets. You know what I mean? And as I got old, man, I thanked the hell out of him because it was like, man, it's not enough of them left in the community. You know what I'm saying? And that's because everybody that gave up on, because you so-called can't touch the kids. You really can't. You can't even chastise a kid no more. You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's a lot to it, man. But man, how y'all feel about it? Hey, man, I'm bent because man, this is a serious topic to me. You know, it really is. But man, I know you understand, P. I see you there, bro. Because this is serious, and we gotta keep it real with ourselves, man. We allow too much. We allow too much to just go by with, and we don't speak on it. We just everything that the government, everything that your city councils and all that present to you, you don't have to accept that. We can put our foot down and say, no, this shit might ain't gonna change. But too many of us just go with the flow and take what the hell they giving us for free. You know what I mean? That's just being real. You know what I mean? Because we was programmed that way. You know what I mean? We've been programmed that way. A lot of my family in Chicago come from Mississippi. You know what I mean? My grandfather picked cotton. So you understand what I'm saying? That's where my direct bloodline come from. And all of them navigated up to Chicago. So that whole pot came to Illinois. But what they left is beatings and shit. You understand what I'm saying? They was getting beaten, treated like straight savages down there. And all they knew was when they got here and they finally created families and shit in Chicago now, all they knew how to do was if they was taught if you didn't do something they said do, beat their ass. So they beat our parents. Trickle down effect of that, single mothers like my moms them come in, they got their ass beat and they beat. That's where the extension cords and shit came in. So it was like cycles of this shit. Somewhere we gotta break them. You know what I mean? And stick to it. It's like, man, I never whipped my kids. I've never whipped my kids. I would have my kids hit the wall, squat down, and hands straight up in the straight out in the air. Don't even think about dropping it. You drop your hand or you stand up straight and you got 5 more minutes. My kids would beg me to beat their ass. I've never beat my kid. I've never whipped my kids. Cause it's like, man, I was breaking that, man. Cause I'd have got burned up on some. You know what I mean? I got my ass because I was one of them knucklehead kids that was real. I wanted to know about so much, so I went to go see him. I wasn't even supposed to be over there. So I got a lot of whippings when I was coming up, you know? So it's like, man, let me say this, the system is broke. It was designed. But yeah, exactly. You're 100% correct. You are 100% correct. But we allow it to stay. We allow it to stay that way because we accept whatever is so-called at our hands, right there at our hands and feet. You know what I mean? It's like, man, we gotta start self-preservation and shit around here, man. And it's gone so far out of whack now. It's like, man, how do we reel this back in, man? And it's tough now because there was a generation a gap where we let a group of kids and young men just go, and most of them went prison, jail, strung out on drugs, and you know what I mean, and so on. You know what I mean? It was just a generation where it was like whatever came to them, that's what it was. And these kids is the effect of that. Them kids was raising their damn self while moms them out there doing, you name it, you guessed it. You know what I'm saying? Because man, this is real. So it's like it was a disconnect so far from all of this. That's why we're at where we are now, man. And it be bothering me, man, because it's so much of it. And the genocide around this boy, you know. So man, that was just on my chest, you know. And I'm like, man, told the wife, I'm like, this one I gotta jump on to, you know, because it's like, man, I like history. I like reading about history, about how we got here in this so-called country, who was here first, who started it. You know what I mean? So in the history of this shit we going through now is, you know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm a realist, man. I don't like to sugarcoat nothing. Don't blow no smoke up my ass. Tell me the truth, you know. That's just, man. I just wanted to move to, like, you know, throw something out there, man. I'm waiting for my platform to build back up, man, so we can have some give and take up in here, because, you know, some debates, some suggestions, some agreements, some disagreements. Cause, man, I'm open for all of that, you know. But, you know, right now, man, the few that's in here, I appreciate it, man. I ain't gonna stop. If I have one person up here, I'm gonna get up in here and do what I do and speak what I speak. And I guarantee they're gonna come back and watch it later on anyway. So I ain't mad at all, you know. But I appreciate all of y'all that tapped up in here with me, man. P, you already know what it is with me and you. Crypto corner, man. That's what it is. Appreciate it, family. Man, who else, man? What's Post the vibe, man. Chi-town gentleman right there. That's what's up. That's what's up. And Ginger, man, she up here in Baltimore with me. Beautiful young lady, sweet as they come, you know. I appreciate everybody checking it out, man. But I'm gonna come back around here. But this is one of I'm gonna let manifest on y'all and migrate on your chest, you know. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man. It's Yak Chi-town's finest. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm gonna get better at this, man. But I'm just giving you me. You feel me? Man, y'all be easy, man. Have a blessed day. Be safe out here. Holler back on the next one, all right? Peace.